While a monster stalks the woods outside of town, a quieter horror has taken root inside Hawkins: the sudden, complete failure of human connection. This is a quintessential 1980s suburb where people live right next door to each other and sit at the same dinner tables. Yet almost all of their dialogue is treated as background interference. Nobody is actually absorbing what anyone else is saying. Will Byers going missing creates a massive vacuum of information, and almost instantly, the adults in charge prove completely incapable of filling it. When Joyce insists she heard her son breathing over the phone line, Hopper tells her she's just emotional, reframing the sound of a child's voice as a symptom of her imagination. The kids are doing the same thing. Instead of telling their parents they found a terrified, soaked girl in the woods, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas decide to hide her in a basement. This creates a deeply frustrating scenario. Finding a missing boy is difficult enough, but the mystery becomes impossible to solve when the basic mechanisms of sharing information are already broken. This is interpersonal static. The characters are actively generating their own interference by choosing to lie to each other. Mike forces Lucas and Dustin into a spit swear to keep 11 a secret. They intentionally lock themselves out of adult help to protect their own small alliance. Upstairs, Nancy adopts the same strategy. She lies to her mother about studying so she can sneak out to Steve's house, and then ignores her best friend Barb's warnings that the party is a bad idea. Even Jonathan isolates himself, instead of engaging directly with the people around him. To look for his brother, he hides in the woods, viewing the unfolding tragedy passively through the lens of a camera. These voluntary secrets split the town into 3 disconnected circles. By refusing to share what they know, the characters make themselves vulnerable to a threat that is already hunting them. While the humans are shutting each other out, their physical tools are falling apart. The analog technology of 1983 is failing them at every turn. Mike admits early on that his prized supercom has a weak signal. This physical limitation traps the boys' communications to a tiny geographic radius. Chief Hopper's police radio isn't any better. It fills his patrol car with useless leads, sending him on a search for a buzzcut kid stealing food at Benny's diner, instead of finding Will. The ultimate technological breakdown happens in the Byers house. When Will finally manages to speak to his mother from the upside down, a massive surge of electricity fries the wall-mounted telephone, cutting the cord entirely. As the supernatural bleeds into Hawkins, standard human technology becomes an unreliable bridge. The characters are forced to find new ways to speak. When traditional communication fails, an unconventional method has to take place. 11 operates with a severe language barrier, speaking almost entirely in simple yes and no answers. This means she has to bypass spoken vocabulary to deliver her warnings. Instead of explaining the upside down, she grabs a toy. Using a Yoda action figure and a Dungeons & Dragons game board flipped on its head, she shows the boys exactly where Will is hiding. It is the only successful transmission of truth in the entire episode. To understand what is happening, the characters must adapt to the visual, nonverbal rules of the anomaly itself. All of these themes collide in the episode's final minutes, where auditory interference masks real physical danger. In the Byers' living room, the wall stretches and distorts as the monster pushes through. This arrival is entirely drowned out by the clash blaring from Will's stereo. Miles away, the same auditory masking happens to Barb. As she is dragged into the upside down, her desperate screams for help are swallowed by the loud teenage party music playing inside Steve's house. The monster operates entirely inside the static. It hunts in the blind spots and the dead air, the exact spaces where people have stopped listening to one another. Hawkins faces an apex predator, but its greatest weakness is its own silence. Surviving the coming episodes requires more than weapons. These isolated factions must finally break their silence and start talking to each other.